Well, hello guys, and welcome back to another Rick and Morty review. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at Season 2, Episode 6, The Ricks Must Be Crazy. This is one of the best episodes in the show's history. Top 5? Maybe even top 3? Honestly, it's really well done. Really good. Go check it out. I say that at the start of every one of these videos, and there's a reason. Go check out the episode if you haven't. But with all that being said, let's just get right into it. So it starts off, they're coming out of Ball Fondlers the movie. Why haven't they made this yet? Why have they not made a Ball Fondler short? Where it's like a short episode. It doesn't even have to. It could be its own side project. It only has to be a few minutes. It'd be great. I'd love to see it. But nope, it's just one of those things that eventually they'll hopefully do, but who knows. And they get back into the car. Spaceship? Car. They call it a car, but it's a spaceship. Whatever, it doesn't matter. And it's not working. Something's wrong with the battery. So they have to go inside the battery. And they leave Summer in the car, right? The car is told, keep Summer safe. And it kills a guy, right? It minces him up. And then it paralyzes another guy from the waist down. Oh my god. The car does some pretty fucked up shit. I'm not gonna lie. It's... I'm laughing, but it's horrifying. Really is. It gets worse. It gets worse. So... they find out Morty finds out the battery, there's an entire civilization living in it, right? That, people, that Rick came down, gave them energy, and now he steals their energy to power his car. It's one of his great inventions or whatnot, right? I like the concept. I really like this concept of going inside of right, an entire world powers a small thing, and it does the the Inception thing where it keeps going deeper and deeper, right? But we meet these aliens, and I like how it's flipping them off means peace among world, right? And the aliens love Rick because he's an alien, even though, okay, they later on bring up a point that, oh no, they're not aliens, they're just wacky scientists. Technically, aren't they still aliens because they're from a foreign planet? And why put on the what are they? The bobblehead things. I'm not forgetting their names. It's a Neko Mimi or something like that. That's not it. But, why put on those things when you already look like an alien to them? It seems a little bit redundant, right? Whatever. I mean, the Peace Amongst World thing I get perfectly fine. But they meet the head scientist, Zeep Xanthorpe, who is played by Stephen Colbert. He does a great job, right? Zeep Xanthorpe is one of those great Rick and Morty villains, right? Like the Devil or Evil Morty, right? One of the ones I hope we see again. Who knows? The third season, by the time this goes out, the third season's already started up, so we'll see. But they go into his mini-verse, which, yeah, it's another group of people, right? And he's controlling them. He puts on a suit. And I like the whole Peace Amongst World thing switches. So flipping them off is Peace Amongst World is what they think. But the actual peace sign now means Peace Amongst World, right? It goes full circle. And wow, I just got tongue twisted there. But we cut back to Summer, and the car's told it can't harm anybody, so it decides to use psychological warfare, and one of the soldiers has, like, a kid that drowned, and the car brings it back to life, and then it melts in his hand, and oh my god, it's so fucked up. Like, holy shit. Oh, that's me. Oh, wow. They did that. It's well done. Oh my god. This is, out of all the episodes with side plots, Summer's whole side plot is one of the best. Just because of, it's just well done. It's fucked up, but it's well done. But inside, they cut back to Rick and Morty, and Zeep And they're inside the miniverse, and inside the miniverse, a scientist is working on his teenyverse, right? So they're 3 deep now, and they go with the scientist, and Zeep realizes that, holy shit, it's the whole hypocrisy thing, because Rick uses, Morty says, oh, this is slavery with extra steps. Rick says to Zeep, this is slavery with extra steps. And now Zeep says, oh, this is to Kyle, this is slavery with extra steps, right? It's going full circle, right? Everything now makes sense. It's really well done, and it ties everything back in. But, so, Rick and Zeep start fighting, because, again, they're very similar. And Kyle realizes that, holy shit, none of this matters. I'm just a mini-verse inside of a microverse. And he gets in the spaceship and kills himself, right? So now they're trapped in the teenyverse. And Rick and Zeep take up caves, right? They start fighting with each other because they really, really hate each other. And Zeep finds out that, oh, you power my car, which this is great, right? It's one of those things that exemplify what Rick and Morty is all about. Fucking nothing. You've got this giant power source from an entire world, and he's using it to power his car. I haven't even brought up the entire point they're doing this. The entire point to get the battery started up again is so they can go get ice cream. It's all futility, right? Nothing means anything in Rick and Morty. And this is one of the best examples, just like the virtual reality is another great example of how pointless everything in Rick and Morty is, right? But we cut back to Summer, and the military is surrounding her, right? They start counting down, because time basically cuts in half every time they go a bit deeper. So what's been a few minutes for Summer ends up being months for them, right? Because they're so deep. But the car is mad that, she can kill everyone there, but nope, Summer won't allow it, so she has to find some way, and the car sasses her out. Again, it's good. And then we cut back to Rick and Zeep, who are fighting, because it's been months, right? They've been stuck there, they've built wooden robots, and they just hate each other. Which, yeah, again, there's nothing a Rick hates more than other Ricks. And Zeep is just another Rick. So I get it. It makes perfect sense. And eventually after blowing up each other's robots, they're caught by Morty and the tree people. And Morty's like, oh, you gotta get us the fuck out of here. The tree people are horrible. They eat their own babies, right? Primitive societies, all that jazz. And there's some other good lines in there. But he basically forces Zeep and Rick to work together, and I like the joke, oh yeah, no, you're going to need to get a second mortgage. I'm an alcoholic. I'm an opioid addict. Great, right? Because, again, it's meant to point out the similarities, that they are, in fact, one and the same, even though they're both horrible people, right? But they eventually escape the teenyverse and get back to the miniverse, and they basically have a race to get out of the miniverse. We get an Inspector Gadget joke, which, that's a good callback. But they escape the miniverse, break it, and now they have a race to get back to Rick's ship to the right, to get out of the microverse. But I love the joke here, right? This one's great, about turn into a car, right? You gotta turn into a car, Morty. That's great. And the whole Rick's giving, right? It's just so well done. Oh my, it's got a lot of great jokes, but it's got a great concept behind it. It all works so well. And then we cut back to Summer, and the car's solution to get Summer free, it brokers peace between the spiders and humans, because there's also telepathic spiders. They mention it in the opening. Again, good callback. But the car brokers peace, and the president says, oh, who cares if the car killed a person and paralyzed a guy? It brokered peace, right? So that's how Summer is safe, and yeah, the car's kind of an asshole, but hey, it worked. And Zeep shows up at the ship, and Rick fight, right? They have a fist fight, right? You may have dropped out of school, but you still got some learning to do. And yeah, he gets out, and they go, and the car turns back on, because it's the idea of the battery either works or I throw out a broken battery. Which, yeah, Zeep is is a great villain. I really have hopes that at some point this show brings back, again, the Devil, Zeep, Xanthorpe, there's probably a few others, brings them back, and they form like a league of villains against Rick. Right? Maybe not the Evil Morty. Evil Morty can do his own thing. But I kind of want a league of villains against Rick, and he can take them out in like one episode, right? They can only be a one-off thing, and they can all fucking die. But I think it'd be an interesting thing, right? Because you got Zeep, who's basically Rick, and you've got the Devil, who uses magic, right? Which is different than science. And there's probably more. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there's got to be, right? But yeah, that'll be that's one of my hopes for either the next season or sometime in the whenever. But they get to the ice cream parlor, and because of the treaty that the ship ordered, all ice cream has flies in it, right? So the ice cream is completely ruined, which is a perfect anticlimactic payoff to everything they've been fighting for the entire episode, right? It's pretty great. And then we got our end credit scene, which is Morty in the middle of class just turning into a car, because why the fuck not? It's really funny. This episode is just so great. It's so well done. It's got a lot of good concepts. It's got a lot of funny jokes, but yet it's also really fucked up, but it keeps a balance. It never goes too far in one extreme without having balance in the other, right? It's one of those perfect examples. Like, if you want to get someone into Rick and Morty, this is maybe one of the best episodes to show them, right? But with this all being said, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.